My brother, uh, one who lives in my house, same house I do, and is a reader. My youngest brother is not a reader. He's been reading a book about the paranormal, or excuse me, the paranormal, and he was almost persuaded that the paranormal is real. But then he kind of went back to being skeptical because the author took the claims of Uri Geller seriously. And my brother thinks that the claims of Uri Geller should have been discarded quite a while ago when he basically made a fool out of himself on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson really did not necessarily set him up to make a fool out of himself, although I know some people have said that. Johnny Carson was kind of on the fence about Uri Geller's having supernatural powers. He didn't know. But he had done some, dabbled in magic. So he knew that a lot of the things that Uri Geller did could be done by magicians. He had a conversation with James Randi, known by his stage name, The Amazing Randi. And he's somebody who does a lot of sort of tricks, but has never claimed to be anything other than a trickster. He doesn't claim to have supernatural powers, although it may look like that sometimes when he's on stage. And they had a talk, and Randy suggested that Carson supply the props. Okay, because if he supplied the props, then, Geller or Geller's people couldn't, do something to, mechanically to fool with them and make it look like Geller was seeing things magically, seeing things supernaturally when he wasn't. Okay, so what happened on that show? And it was that Johnny Carson had his people bring out just some props, and and Geller looks at them, and you could tell by his expression and behavior and tone of voice that he was thinking, oh my God, I'm busted. He really did look like he was panicking because he doesn't have supernatural powers. Now, he was, they had like these little bottles, and he was supposed to, be able to see inside and know whether or not they have any water in them. He was just guessing. He was nervously guessing. He was frightened all the way through. Johnny Carson was not gloating about the whole thing, contrary to what some people seem to think. Johnny Carson seemed to actually be hoping that they would see something amazing. He was kind of disappointed when he realized that, what Randy had told him to do had in fact showed Geller up. And that Geller wanted to go back to, just doing some Q&A and not being asked to show his supernatural powers because he didn't have any. And I saw the thing on YouTube, and it reminded me a lot of Geraldo and opening up Al Capone's vault. What are we gonna see? Are there gonna see skeletons? Are we gonna see a whole bunch of stashed of dollars that have been stashed away since for decades? You know, a treasure trove of jewels? What are we gonna see in Al Capone's vault? You know, it had this huge buildup. And what did we see?